41 congressmen who signed a letter demanding that AT&T address their concerns about the censorship of conservative voices. Congressman, thank you for your support, sir. If I may just set this up a little bit, I'm a libertarian. I come from the business world. It's my belief that government should not interfere with business. Businesses can set up any price they want. It seemed like DIRECTV was fine with OAN and Newsmax until that letter from Pelosi. So, was this business or was this politics, sir?
That's the point. This was politics. The point here is this is a lot bigger than just DIRECTV. It's a lot bigger than Newsmax. It's about freedom. It's about America. It's about the exchange of ideas and vision. It's about what everything this country is based upon. You know what? I don't like liberal ideology. I don't agree with liberals. I don't agree with what they say. But they have a right to be on. And this is the problem. That's all we hear now. We don't get that mix of ideas. We're not really following the Constitution, again, in the freedom of speech, which is so unbelievably important. So this is politics. It's raw politics. And it's worse than the politics we're used to in America because it's censorship. It's how an oligarchy literally limits what people can hear and what they can know. And it's hard to believe. I don't know what the hell has happened to our country in the last 5 years, but it's hard to believe that this is actually going on in America, in the United States of America. We don't do this in America. We let everybody have a seat at the table and a voice. So we've got to fight this. We've got to stand up, and we've really got to give it everything we got. I think we need hearings, and I'm going to push for them. And I think we need to really hear from the people that are involved in this and find out why. And just to wrap up, I know I'm talking a little bit here, but I am a little passionate about this. It wasn't that your ratings were going down, they were getting better. You really were catching on. It isn't that they're not making money. They're making money off of you, and they're making money off of everybody else as well. This is a political move to limit freedom, and we should not tolerate it.
You know, the numbers, numbers, love talking the numbers. Thank you for that, by the way. When they're the top 20 or the top 100 are getting paid a fee, the cable providers are getting paid a fee to the distributor, being DIRECTV. But the one, no, two, because OAN and now Newsmax gets deplatformed because they don't want to pay those two. It does seem like bias. I don't know if it's bias or not, but it does seem like unfair play, and Americans demand fair play, especially when you're talking about speech.
Exactly. Well, and this is why I want people who are listening to this and watching this, they should write to their congressman. Frankly, they don't have, I'm on board, man, I'm pushing, but can write to me as well. But they should write to all the Congress people, ask for hearings, ask for an investigation, ask why this is happening, because we need fairness and freedom of speech. And Congress absolutely, I believe, has a responsibility to look into this. Like you, I don't like when business is interfered, when actually government interferes with business. This is different than that, and business is different now. What we see with what's going on with the social, networks and what's going on online and everything else is not just somebody interfering with a small business that's trying to move forward and make a living. This is a big deal. And this is about literally, again, having all those voices and having all those people at the table. I want to have the debates. I want to have the discussions. I want to hear conservative stuff. I happen to be a conservative. Conservatives have a right to live too, and they have a right to hear what's going on. And you know what? This country is about 50% conservative and moderate. So certainly there's a need for it.
I tell you what, no business really. They don't want it. They don't want congressional hearings. They want it. They don't want their CEOs marched up in front of congressional panels, be it House or Senate. Will you pursue that? Will you follow through on that
yes,
to
I
pull
will.
the AT&T, get the parent company? I think there's a 30% ownership by a hedge fund that owns about 30% of DIRECTV too. You may want to pull them in there and find out where some of their donations are going. I heard the hedge fund that owns 30% of DIRECTV, along with AT&T, 90% of their political donations went to the other side of the aisle, the Democrats. Final thoughts, sir.
I believe it. Final thoughts, I absolutely believe that. They've got the money, they've got the push and the power, and they don't want the freedom, and we're going to push for the freedom. I will talk to my friend who I'm on judiciary with, Jim Jordan, and find out what we've got to really locate what the best route and the best way to do this is. But you have my support and you'll have my push, and all I ask from you is to make sure we get the other help to make sure we get the other Congress people on board as well.
So you heard it there, folks. Congressman Jeff Van Drew, thank you so much. But you heard it there, folks. Hit up your congressman.
My pleasure.
Talk to your people.